Broadcasting to you from the heart of northern Minnesota, this is the best music-oriented podcast and web series on all of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Roger Radio Show. I am Roger Radio, a.k.a. Steve Howe.
And I'm Aegis. I love the Intermission Group.
A.k.a. John Anderson. We'll go with that right now. I ain't got nothing to drink. Apparently, you got a beard that was just moving around for some reason, so... I don't know, is this doing anything? I ain't got nothing to drink with, and I didn't even bother to put coffee on, so... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably going to be a short episode for today's legit album review. But before we get started, the question of the podcast is, what is your favorite concept album? There was a question that we were going to ask, but we already asked it, so I had to come up with another one.
For me, I know it hasn't even come out yet, but I think Sunya is going to be my favorite concept album of all time.
Dude, you're supposed to be saying what your favorite one is that's current. Or that's already
in that
out.
case, Antimai.
Alright, there you go. Oh, at least until Sunya is released, and then you could get back to me on that. Me, it's obvious. Animals by Pink Floyd. Without a doubt. So, for today's legit album review, we are going to be looking at a concept album. And this, obviously, is a album that I keep revisiting for whatever reason. You know, it looked like an interesting album, but I wanted to check it out. And I thought, since there wasn't anything going on right now, we figured might as well review it. And I am, of course, talking about Yes's 1973 album, Tales from Topographic Oceans. What can I say about this album, really? It sounds ambitious.
Everyone thought 4 songs on it.
Yeah. Everyone thought that this album was supposed to be much bigger than their previous album that they released prior, which was Close to the Edge, which is considered their greatest work. But for this album here, Tales from Topographic Oceans, you either take it or you leave it, you know. I thought it was okay, you know. Could they have done a little more? Yes. But what are you gonna do, right? Obviously, this is a concept album, and what is it based off of? Obviously, it's based off of a spiritual book that was released in 1946, and it's called Autobiography of a Yogi, by none other than Paramahansa Yogananda, is who it is, who was a guru or a monk of sorts, this book pretty much was about spiritual teachings, you know, of, let me just look it up. I have the link to the Wikipedia page. I am going to include everything in the description below as always, but I want to give a quick recount of what this book is really about. So, Autobiography of a Yogi is a spiritual classic that was published in 1946. It recounts Yogananda's life, his search for his guru, and his teachings on Kriya Yoga. The book has introduced many to meditation and yoga and has been influential in both the Eastern and Western spiritual circles. It has been translated into over 50 languages and continues to be widely read. Their most notable admirers included Steve Jobs, George Harrison, and Elvis Presley. And I could say, to an extent, yes, would be one of them, because after all, the album was made based off of this book. Basically, it was based off of a footnote that John Anderson, the lead singer, read one day. We'll get into that in a second, but first let me quickly get back to the old wiki. Okay. Tales from Topographic Oceans was released on December 7th, 1973. It was recorded between July and September of 73. Recorded at Morgan Studios and Willesden, which is an area northwest of London. But Morgan Studios obviously is an independent recording studio. The genre is obviously progressive rock. It was released by Atlantic Records, and the producers were Yes themselves, along with Eddie Offord, who worked with the likes of not just Yes, but he also worked with Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. And if I remember correctly, I think he was the one that produced their album TRRS. If I remember correctly, let me just take a quick little peek-see here. I want to make sure that I got it here. Oh, yeah. He worked with Emerson, Lake, and Palmer on their first 4 albums. And actually, the song Are You Ready, Eddie from TRRS was actually a tribute to him. Can you imagine that? Just making a song after as a tribute to your producer or whatever? It would be like the equivalent of if Pink Floyd decided to do a tribute to Alan Parsons. Or the Beatles making a tribute to George Martin for whatever reason. Okay, so the background I just want to take a look at quick. Okay, so previously in 1972, they released their album Close to the Edge, which is an album that we will review in the future. A lot of people consider it as their greatest work, but I always thought it was fragile, honestly. And mainly it's because of what's the song that starts off Fragile?
Roundabout.
Or as all of you Gen Zers or whatever generation we're in today call it, the to be continued meme song. And a good tune that is. So they obviously released Close to the Edge, and Bill Bruford, right as soon as the album got done, ended up leaving to join your band, King Crimson.
King Crimson.
Yep. And he joined, I think, just in time as they were making Lark's Tongues and Aspic, I believe, is his first album with them.
Yeah, Lark's Tongues and Aspic is a really good album, especially the title track. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite songs of all time.
I think, if I remember correctly, I think you said it was also one of your favorite album covers, too.
It is.
If I remember correctly. It is a good piece of art right there. You know? So, they in March of 1973, while they ended up going to, I think it was Bill Bruford's wedding or something like that at the time, and it was Jamie Muir who then was the percussionist and drummer also, as Bruford was joining the band. Jamie Muir ends up introducing John Anderson, the singer of Yes, to this book, Autobiography of a Yogi, and he became very fascinated with a lengthy footnote that was on page 83. I'm going to be honest with you, I tried literally finding that because I wanted to read it, but I fucking couldn't because there were so many versions that are, for PDFs, right? And it just wasn't the same. Like, it was all printed differently. It was all typed up differently. But nevertheless, according to Google here, for the so-called AI overview, because we are now in the AI age, thank you, Elon Musk, the lengthy footnote on page 83 of Autobiography of a Yogi describes the 4 main classes of Shastras, Hindu scriptures that cover a vast range of subjects that include but not limited to religion, art, science, medicine, music, and architecture. And this was the footnote that inspired John Anderson to say, hey, we can make something of this. We can make an album with this. So he ends up presenting it to Steve Howe, who I would say was the leader of Yes, obviously. And that's when they started working on it. And then, and I think from what I've heard, they basically made this with the intent to actually have this album, like, quote unquote, be much bigger than Close to the Edge, when they were at least making it anyways. They ended up covering, like, they ended up taking all of those different components and they mashed it into like 4 total songs, which go for about 18 to 21 minutes. And basically, it was the final album that we heard was John Anderson's interpretation of said scriptures that covered themes of spiritual enlightenment, creation, and consciousness, and representing a typographical map of ideas, and wanted to make it a quote-unquote musical journey as you're listening to it, trying to move you to for spiritual consciousness, I think, was what his intention was for this album. Obviously, but nevertheless, it would actually be the last album that would have their keyboardist for a while, Rick Wakeman, who actually was extremely critical of this album because he had a lot of contributions he wanted to make, and it fell through. It didn't go according to plan for him or something like that, and he kind of didn't like how it came out, so he ended up quitting. And they had to get a brand new pianist or keyboardist, The album, let me see here. Basically, for different reviews back in the earlier days, it was divided. Half the people liked it, half the people didn't like it. But later reviews, though, take a look at this. All About Jazz gave it a 5-star rating. All Music gave it a 3.5 star rating. Pitchfork gave it 2.2 out of 10. Christgau's Record Guide gave it a C grade. And the Rolling Stone Album Guide gave it a 4-star rating. Now, this here is what the band members had to say about this. In January of 1974, Chris Squire, the bassist, picked the Yes album, as it was called, and Tales from Typographic Oceans as the 2 most personally satisfying Yes albums in terms of being captivated. In 1984, after Yes released at 90125 in 1983, Anderson looked back on Tales from Typographic Oceans as difficult in some respects, but felt it was stupid to even think about defending it. In 1990, he said that he was pleased with 3/4 of the album, with the remaining quarter not quite gelling, but the tight deadline to finish it meant there was little time to make the necessary changes, which kind of explains why it came out like it did.
Yeah.
Squire recalled that the album was an unhappy period in the band's history and commented on Anderson's attitude then. John had his visionary idea that you could just walk into a studio and if the vibes were right, the music would be great at the end of the day. It isn't reality. Rick Wakeman continues to hold a mostly critical view. In 2006, he would clarify that there are some very nice musical moments in Typographic Oceans, but because of the format of how records used to be, we had too much for a single album, but not enough for a double. So we padded it out, and the padding is awful. But there are some beautiful solos like Nous, Sommess du Soleil, one of the most beautiful melodies, and deserve to be developed even more, perhaps. In 2023, Steve Howe stated that the album was for the band a time of spreading our wings, a wonderful project where we went to the ends of the earth to do it. There was often a feeling often a feeling that disaster was almost about to strike, but we got there in the end. You have to account for tales in our history to properly talk about what Yes achieved. Because it was quite exceptional, I don't think we'd be the same group without it. Adding that he was still very proud of it and very pleased with it. Tales is totally epic and I loved it to bits. Now, what is my honest take about the album? Is it among their greatest work? Not necessarily, but I would say I would consider this at least their most ambitious in terms of the concept. The music, I feel they could have did a little more to it, to add it to make it more better and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like it came out like how it came out.
I honestly would give it like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were some really good moments in it, but it's just
Yeah.
mostly the beginning song and the ending
First
song.
track was really good.
Oh yeah, basically the songs that began the album and ended the album were really good. I feel like in the middle they could have did more better with it, honestly. And I
Yeah.
got a whole lot to say about fucking Trek too. I really
Yeah.
do. Let me just quickly go through this one more time. The UK. Oh, but get this though, it did do okay on the charts right here. Like it went at #1 on the UK albums chart, and it actually peaked at #6 on the US Billboard 200. So that's good, you know. But then, of course, I think it was mainly because they were still trying to capitalize off of the success of Close to the Edge for obvious reasons, you know. It did do good. It got gold. It got certified gold in Switzerland with 25,000 copies. It got certified gold in the United Kingdom with 100,000, and it got certified gold here in the U.S. with 500,000 copies. So that's still good.
Yeah.
I know that recently they released a deluxe edition or an anniversary edition, and I'm looking to buy that actually to add to my beautiful library that I have up there. You obviously can't see it, but I might do something here at one point to try and get my vinyl collection behind me, but I don't know how to do it yet. So, obviously, let's talk about the artwork. What do you think of the artwork in terms of it?
Uh, Let me pull it up quick.
I could even message it to you on here if I need to.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah. That's big. That I mean, right now it's pretty much like a whole image or whatever, but it's folded in half. The front side, obviously, it looks like a couple rocks, like with river falls, and then it looks like the Pyramid of Giza in the far back with a moon there. On the other side, there's like a flock of bass or whatever fish it is, you know.
Honestly, I'm not too impressed by it. They could have done better.
Yeah,
I think it's okay.
yeah. And if I recall, I think it was good old Roger Dean that did the artwork for it. He's the same guy who we all know did the artwork for good old Asia, you know. Me, it's like you either take it or you leave it. Hell, I kind of did update my desktop background to have it be the artwork because I thought it's cool, especially with the fish right there. And then, of course, and the fact that we live in Minnesota, we take a lot of pride in our fishing up here. So,
Yep.
what do you expect, right? Alrighty, so shall we get into the Oh, well, I want to quickly read some of this here. Okay, so the lengthy footnote, like I said, was on page 83 of Autobiography of a Yogi, and just look at the cat right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, we got basically the four classifications that were mentioned in the footnote are simply this: Shruti, the Vedas, which are considered divine revelations; Smriti, the Puranas, which contain traditional teachings; Purana, the historical epics; and Tantra, texts that outline rituals and practical applications for spiritual growth. I'll be honest with you, dude. I've always never been kind of a fan of the word ritual. It kind of sounds a little satanic. So I just call it like
Yep.
a ceremony, you know?
All right. So here, I have Genius pulled up for the lyrics and all that,
Yeah.
and I have the Revealing Science of God, Dance of the Dawn pulled up.
Oh, yeah, we'll start it off with that song right there. And this, I do like this song. This one I think is probably my most
Yeah.
favorite on this album.
Me too. Me too.
It
All right.
started,
It says.
it kind of started a little easy, you know. Like you could hear what sounds like an ocean and whatnot, which kind of makes a little bit of sense considering that, of course, the name is Tales from Topographic Oceans. I think they wanted to add that ocean sound. And then it just hits you really hard, I think, at the 3 minute mark. And is it me or when you've listened to all these songs, did it not sound like two to three different songs stitched into one whole song?
Yeah, I can see that.
You know? Um,
Yeah, it's divided into parts. There's part one, part two, where is it? Part three, part four, part five. Yeah, it's divided into five parts.
yeah,
And for part one, it says part one consists of a very ambient guitar piece that sort of resembles being around the ocean or its tide. Anderson and the members eventually join in with the first set of lyrics, building up the tension with an almost sea shanty sort of chant. The lyrics, or the chant heard here, of part one can be broken down into four verses: Dawn of our light, dawn of thought, dawn of our power, and dawn of love. The dawns represent humanity's inherent intuitive gifts that can be used for the good of others around us and ourselves.
yeah,
Do you want me to dive into the lyrics?
yeah. I mean, I'll do this. I'll no, I'll just give a quick thought about this. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool, you know, for at least in terms of that. What is your thoughts, honestly, about the name of it, the revealing science of God? I mean, you are a Catholic and you're a religious guy, so what are your thoughts?
I think it's an interesting title.
Yeah, I think it pretty much almost feels like on it, in my honest opinion, it kind of feels like it's a contradictory kind of thing, you know, because you know when it comes to there's a lot of people there's a people who say like we were created all because of Adam and Eve who were created by God himself. And then you
Yeah.
got the other part which brings in the science of evolution, so to speak, that we are all
Well, the person
descendants of
who
monkeys and all that.
yeah, the person who developed the Big Bang Theory was a Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not anti-science at all. We just have our own beliefs, you know?
Yeah. It's pretty interesting, you know. All right, how about you go ahead and get into the lyrics?
All right. Dawn of a light lying between silence and soul sources, chased amid fusions of wonder, in moments hardly seen forgotten, colored in pastures of chance, dancing leaves cast spells of challenge. Amused but real in thought, we fled from the sea whole.
Ooh, that almost I don't know. I just ended up getting like a sun WTF moment because you know like how in the old prehistoric times there were fish that came out of like the sea or whatnot and they started growing feet
Yeah.
and able to walk on land. It almost feels like they ended up bringing that interpretation and that I told you about for terms of evolution.
Dawn of thought transferred through moments of days under searching earth, revealing corridors of time-provoking memories, disjointed but with purpose. Craving penetrations offer links with the self, instructions sharp and tender love. As we look into the air, a picture of distance. Dawn of our power we amuse, redescending as fast as misused expression, as only to teach love to reveal passion chasing late into corners. And we danced from the ocean.
Yeah.
Dawn of love sends within us colors of awakening, among the many won't follow. Only tunes of a different age, as the links span our endless caresses for the freedom of life everlasting.
Hell
Taut
yeah.
to the sunlight collar, soft summer mover, distance mine. Then it's on to part two.
Alrighty. Dive right into her, man.
All right. Called out a tune, but I never saw the face. heard but not replaced. I ventured to talk, but I never lost my place. Cast out a spell rendered for the light of day, lost in light's array. I ventured to see as the sound began to play. What happened to this song we once knew so well? Signed promise for moments, caught within the spell. I must have waited all my life for this. Moment, 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 moment.
Yeah, and honestly, I think when it comes to this song right here, I would consider this like the chorus somewhat. You know?
Yeah? Yeah, it says that's the chorus, actually.
Okay, then. Okay, I figured it out. So,
Yeah.
because
The
like you know,
future,
like how with most progressive rock songs, they don't have like a traditional structure, like how they do things. You know, like with
yeah,
a normal rock song, for example, they kind of like to do their own thing.
yeah. The future poised with the splendor just begun. The lights we were as one, and
Yeah.
crowded through the curtains of liquid into sun. And for a moment, when our world had filled the skies, magic turned our eyes to feast on the treasure set for our strange device. And then
Ooh.
it says the
Okay.
chorus again.
Yeah.
And it says starlight movement, reason, release forward, tallest rainbow, sun shower seasons, life flower reasons.
Mm-hmm. Then right here, it feel I would consider like this instrumental part because I'm giving it a listen to. I feel like it's like the break in between kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I actually
And
do
that
like
brings
this next part right here for the core for the lyrics anyway.
yeah, and that brings us to part three. They move fast, they tell me, but I just can't believe that I can feel it. There's someone to tell you amid the challenge we look around in unison with you. Getting over overhanging trees, let them rape the forest. Thoughts would send our fusion clearly to be home. Getting
So
over wars
how?
we do not mean, or
Yeah,
so it seems so clearly, sheltered with our passion
dude.
clearly to be home.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like where they say let them rape the forest. I don't know why, but I just ended up getting a flashback to a Ring 2 on Antimai.
Yeah,
Don't know. You never know. Maybe Casey Crescenzo got inspired to make Ring 2 Nature by looking at that. Let them rape the forest.
all right. They move fast, they tell me, but I just can't believe they really mean to. There's someone to tell you, and I can't believe our song will leave you. Skyline teacher, Warland seeker, send out poison, cast iron leader. This on to part four. And through the rhythm of moving slowly, sent through the rhythm, work out the story. Move over glory to sons of old fighters past. Young Christians see it from the beginning. Old people feel it. That's what they're saying. Move over glory to sons of old fighters past.
Those
And
are
on
really
to
good
part.
lyrics right there too.
They are. There it goes to part five.
Damn, John,
They
you a
move.
poetic guy, aren't you? You poetic as hell.
They move fast, they tell me, but I just can't believe they really mean to. There's something to tell you, a course towards a universal season. Getting over hanging trees. Oh, getting over overhanging trees, let them rape the forest. They might stand and leave them, clearly to be home. Getting over wars we do not mean. We charm the movement suffers. Call out all our memories, clearly to be home. We've
Yeah.
moved fast, we need love. A part we offer is our only freedom.
Oh,
What
dude,
happened?
that part right there, that's definitely relatable to today. We've moved fast. We need love. A part we offer is our only freedom.
Yeah. Uh, what happened to this song we once knew so well? Signed promise for moments, caught within the spell. We must have waited all our lives for this moment. Past, present movers, moments we will possess the future, but only through him we know, sun-flowered rainbows, a piece apart, chaste flower of the dark and light of songs. to follow and show all we feel and know of cast round. You
Yeah.
seekers of the truth, accepting that reasons will relive and breathe, and hope and chase and love for you, and you, and you.
Dude, you know what you should do? At your next church service, you should actually preach that part right there.
Uh,
No, I mean, dude, if you think about it, it does feel just as relatable. Yeah, but either way, I think it's a really good song.
Yeah, best one on the album.
Yeah, and it's the song that starts this show off. You know, like it's really good. Um, I'm just quickly looking something up. Yeah, but pretty much I'm just looking at these right here. I'm just looking at like the different movements that are on these. Like pretty much, it's focusing on the beauty of creation and awareness is what this song tries to focus on, at least. You know. But overall, dude, I think it's a really good starter of a song. You know, like I think for like when it comes to the overall sound, it pretty much like you have songs that are just going big right here, and then some that are pretty quiet, like right here. This year was kind of like in the middle of the pack for overall sound. Overall, I really like this. I really like the song. I really do.
Yeah, it's the best song on the album.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But
Then the
then, of
next
course,
one's
it
probably my
does not
least.
make up. It does not make up for the shitstorm that came next, which is the remembering slash high the memory.
Easily my least favorite song on the album.
It's the same for me, dude. This whole song was essentially a cock block of a song because I was expecting it to be sounding a certain way. Dude, the song here, it pretty much did what Pink Floyd "Shine on You Crazy Diamond" did before "Shine on You Crazy Diamond" came to be. The intro took way too fucking long. It didn't really get started till like the 9 minute 20-second mark on this fucking song. I was expecting it to actually fully start after at least 2 minutes, but it didn't. And then you get to the ending of the song here, and this is what gets me the most. I was expecting it because there's a melody that goes like dun 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 or dun 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 dun. You know, I was expecting it to
Yeah.
actually end with that exact fucking sound. The dun 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 dun. I was expecting that, but no, it didn't fucking do that. So you know what, John Anderson, you dropped the ball with this one. Seriously, fuck this song, dude. It does have. There is like a couple moments that I heard on here. It kind of like had that outer spacey like vibe to it, though. I'll give them that. And then I think it was around. I can't remember, like somewhere around close to the ending of this song in particular, you could hear what sounds like a little throwback to track one for at least one of the instrumental parts. You know. All right, you know, go ahead and do this, or should I?
I was thinking do you want me to do it or do you want to?
You know what? I'll do it here. I'll actually read it.
Okay.
I have it on here, so I literally had to copy and paste all the lyrics because they don't have all of it on fucking YouTube Music, and it pisses me off that they don't do that. Fuck you, YouTube. All right, so we start with part one. As the silence of seasons on, we relive a bridge sails afloat. As to call light, the soul shall sing of the velvet sailor's course on, of the velvet sailor's course on. That actually does sound like a great, um, That does sound those are some good lyrics. Fucking A, dude. Shine our moons, send me memories trail over days of forgotten tales, course the compass to offer into a time that we've all seen on, into a time that we've all seen on. Hide the memory, carry on, while the moments start to linger, sailed away among your dreams. The strength regains us in between our time, the strength regains us in between our time. As we shall speak to differ, and the ends meet the river's sun, so the ends meet the river's sun. That almost, some reason that kind of gave me, that just reminded me of, when, the story of Moses and that he was found, his mother put him in one of those
Yeah,
cradle things and then places him
and
to go down the river,
Exodus.
and that's when the pharaohs found him. Ours the story, shall we carry on and search the forest of the sun? We dream as we dream as one, and I do think very well that the song might take you silently. They move fast. This is where I started hearing like the spacey like sound in this song at least.
Yeah,
They tell me there's someone Rainbow's alternate tune. In the days of summers so long, we danced as evening sang their song. We wander out the day so long, and I do feel very well that the evenings take you silently. They move around, sunlight, seeing ground, whispers of clay, alternate ways. Oh yeah, and it starts part two right here, and you know that one part where it goes bang. That actually started scaring the fuck out of me. Like I actually thought
the
somebody was gonna come up behind me and jump scare me. Maybe Freddy Fazbear. Maybe he wants to give me an old bear hug before he stuffs me inside his suit because he thinks I'm an endoskeleton. The least you could do is at least just put one in me and then be like, at least I won't have to feel pain. Just imagine that at my wake or something like that, open casket, and there's Freddy Fazbear just around covering me and all that shit. Alrighty. Softer messages bring light to a truth long forgone on, as we shout to differ al, so the ends meet the river sun, so the ends meet the river sun. I reach over and the fruit of life stands still. That's definitely gotta be a reference to the forbidden fruit. You don't eat the
yeah.
fruit. God flat out told you clearly, Adam and Eve, you don't eat the fruit. All right. Stand a while. We search our past. We start anew. The music sings of love you knew. How do you know that? You don't know what I'm listening to, John Anderson. You don't know what Aegis is listening to. Oh, and now we get to the chorus of the song, or at least the first set of choruses. We rock around the story, out in the city, running free. Sands of companions, sides that be. The strength of the meaning lies with you. Wait all the more regard your past. School gates remind us of our class. Chase all confusion away with us. Stand on hills long forgotten yesterdays. Past amongst your memories told returning ways. As certain as we walk today. We walk around the story, out in the city, running free. Days pass as seconds turn the key. The strength of the moment lies with you. And now we get to part three of the song here. Another instrumental. And it starts with, don the cap and close your eyes. Imagine all the glorious challenge. Iron metal cast to others. Distant drums. Force the bit between the mouth of freedom. Didn't we learn to fly? Well, whoever made the airplanes did, but I didn't learn to fly. Remember to sail the skies. Will we reach? Winds allow other skylines to hold you. Relayer all the dying cried before you. Relayer we've rejoiced in all their meaning. Relayer we advance, we retrace our stories. Like a dreamer, all our lives are only lost, begotten changes. We relive in seagulls' pages, outward ways. Things are all in colors, and the size of others shall send you forward, arrange to sail you forward. Peace of mind. Will we reach? Winds allow. Other skylines to hold you. Relayer all the passion spent on one cross. Relayer sail the feudal wars they suffer. Relayer we advance, we retrace our story. Fail safe now. Or, yeah, fail safe now. I thought it said false safe or something like that. Then we get to another instrumental part. And stand on hills of long forgotten yesterdays, past amongst your memories, told returning ways, as certain as we walk today. Pressed over moments leaving you out in the city running free. Days pass as seconds turn the key. The strength of the moment lies with you. Out tender outward lights of you shine over mountains, make the view. The strength of you seeing lies with you. And we get to part 4, which is just an instrumental. What the fuck?
You got part 5.
What the fucking fuck? Anyway, we get to the final part. Part 5. Ours, entrance we surely carry on, and change the passing of the sun. We don't even need to try. We are one, and I do think very well. As the truth unfolds you silently, they move time, rainbows, sunlight, alternate tune, and then we got Steve Howe doing his badass guitar solo, and then we get to the outro, which is rainbows, soft light, alternate view, sunlight tell me, someone, alternate view, surely, ooh, 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 ooh. What do you say we take a quick break? We actually did pretty well for the first 2 songs, actually. Holy fuck. Okay, so before we get to break, all I could say is, fuck this song, dude. Fuck the overall of it. The lyrics are good, dude, but the fucking sound was just a bunch of shit, dude. This is probably the biggest cock block of a song I ever heard because of the overall sound. What are your final thoughts?
I like the first song a lot, but the second one is, as I said, my least favorite song on the album.
This was such a downer of a song, bro. This was a fucking downer of a song, man. Ugh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do a quick break right here. Do not go anywhere. We shall return right after these brief messages, so don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last few months since I started this podcast and YouTube channel, I've been preaching a whole lot about how rock and roll is the one true music genre to listen to. That's because it's the only good music out there. And obviously, I have a strong hatred for adult contemporary and pop music. I believe it's the greatest crime against humanity since the Holocaust. And I don't know why, ladies and gentlemen, had to buy these, obviously, because it's music related. Selena Gomez Oreo cookies. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would you buy these, Roger? Because I'm pathetic, and I'm asking for help! Alright, let's see what we got here. It's almost like the Post Malone Oreo cookie here. Cheers. If you want to see more content from us that's not posted on this channel, be sure to subscribe to the Intermission group today. What's going on, everybody? Steve Howe here along with John Anderson, and welcome to another legit album review. It is snowing. We're fucking miserable here. I want to just stick my head in a fridge. You name it. I don't think you guys can really pick this up, can you?
No, I can't hear it.
Dude, it's because of this thingamajig right here that's blocking out all the overall sounds, you know? It probably helps. It probably is best for it, considering that otherwise, if this thing wasn't here, you guys would probably be hearing my orange cat being a fucking whore right now. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are still continuing our legit album review on Yes's 1973 album, Tales from Typographic Oceans. Interesting concept to say the least, but does it really live up to everything? Let's continue on. And we are going to continue on with The Ancient / Giants Under the Sun.
This one was my third favorite song on the album.
Yeah, pretty much for me too. The fucking instrumental at the beginning, dude, I was expecting it to actually go really hard. But it goes back to the fucking soft melodious stuff or whatever it is, you know. I also want to make a quick note that the 4 movements, because I'm still reading off the concept here, because this is based off of page 83 footnote on Autobiography of a Yogi, and pretty much the Remembering Hide the Memory explores memory and the spiritual journey. This one here, The Ancient Giants Under the Sun, it deals with ancient wisdom and knowledge. If you're one of those educational scholars out there, you would understand. What can I say about this? I do want to say a few things about the music. Yeah. Okay, so you hear the beginning of the song here, and I actually thought they were going to go much more harder, honestly. But then you hear around the 5 to 6 minute mark, you hear something that sounds like Indian traditional music, considering that the author of Autobiography of a Yogi, he himself is Indian, from the country of India, you know? It does do pretty good for like around the 11 to 12 minute mark. Then you get to the last fucking 4 to 5 minutes of this song, dude, and it actually feels like it's a throwback to Roundabout.
Yeah, I liked like around a minute in. I really liked that part right there. I thought it sounded really cool.
Right. I thought it was pretty good too, you know. I mean, I don't know what it is about this song. I really wanted to like it, but I just could not like it as fully, you know, like I did with track 1.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the only song out of all 4 of them that pretty much did not make any reference or throwback for the overall sound or like a simple tune or whatever section from track 1. You know?
Want me to jump into lyrics?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and do that, actually. Let's get into
part 1 is just instrumental.
Then which we heard, and goes... you hear the, I think it's the bass playing or something like that from Chris Squire that I heard, and I thought I was in a Crash Bandicoot level. Imagine that, dude. They have a Crash Bandicoot level that has that same tune in the background, and then you have those fish that are on the artwork of Tales from Topographic Oceans, and Crash kept dying from them.
Yeah. And it goes, as one with the knowledge and magic of the source, attuned to the majesty of music, they marched as one with the earth.
Dude, you sounded like fucking, what's that one guy from South Park that had the sunglasses and he has to use that voice thing that you have to push to your neck to talk? Whenever he screams or whatever, he's just,
Sol, Dupe, Sun, Leos, Nathit, Akin, Saula.
Then you get the instrumental break, and I actually do like that instrumental break. That was between the verses.
Me too. We got Tonatia, Cracks, Goons, Grian,
Gooness.
Surrey, Ear, Samsey,
Dude, we are gonna.
and
Dude, we are so gonna get a race card for not even pronouncing those correctly.
and
Fuck, man.
there's an instrumental for part three.
And then part four we get to.
Yep. And it says, so the flowering creativity of life wove its web face to face with the shallow, and their gods sought out and conquered Akin. And instrumental then part five. Do the leaves of green stay greener through the autumn? Does the color of the sun turn crimson white? Does a
Ha,
shadow come between
Crimson.
us in the winter? Is the movement really light? And I heard a million voices singing, acting to the stories that they had heard about. Does one child know the secret and can say it? Or does it come out along with you? Along without you? Along without you?
And then I think you hear like the acoustic guitar that Steve Howe, I believe, was doing, like dun 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 dun, or whatever.
Yep, then verse 6, where does reason stop and killing just take over? Does a lamb cry out before we shoot it dead? Are there many more in comfort understanding? Is the movement in the head? And I heard a million voices singing, acting to the story that they had heard about. Does one child know the secret and can say it? Or does it all come out along without you? Along without you, along without you. Then it goes two do do, two do do, two do do. I'm not gonna read all that.
Dude, I was gonna say we should do a challenge where if we could actually say it without getting shocked, if we fuck up or something during the whole thing, we get zapped. Do 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 do. Now, actually, the outro for this song, honestly, is it actually sounds like almost a throwback to one of their earlier songs
Yeah.
from the Yes album, which was the one of the most fucking annoying Yes songs I ever heard, and that is I see no good people, da da da, I'm on my way. That song is banned from this show.
All
Banned. You dig?
right. Then under ritual, Nous
Yep,
sommes
which we will get
du
to.
Soleil.
Nous sommes de Soleil. Dude, I am so gonna fucking get lynched someday. I'm not even kidding.
Hmm.
Okay, this here is the second best one, and it's probably the one song that goes hard, honestly, you know? It sounds really good. I really do love it. All right, so pretty much ritual Nous Sommess du Soleil. It represents the final ritualistic aspect of the journey. And I'll be honest with you, dude. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast, dude, I'm not really a fan of the word ritual, honestly. It just sounds a little too satanic. So I just like to stick with traditional ceremony, you
Hmm.
know?
Yeah.
That's just my takeaway on it, honestly, you know. So, what can let's see here. Let me just get to where I was quick. Where's my fucking lyrics at? I have them here. All right, here we go. We lost. Oh, I thought we lost you for a moment. Your webcam fucked up on you. Ritual Nous Sommess du Soleil. I hope to God I said it correct. I do apologize to everyone whoever speaks this language. I don't even know, honestly. And by looking at the chorus here, I'm gonna really fuck this up. Good. Part one is just instrumentation with vocalizing. Da 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 da. There's a pussy walking right behind you now. Da 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 da. You know. You were just looking at me like, what the fuck? All right. Anyway, we get to part two, and there's a good guitar solo by yours truly, Steve Howe. And it goes like this. Nous sommes du soleil, du soleil, du soleil. Nous sommes du soleil, nous we love when we play. Nous sommes du soleil, du soleil. Nous sommes du soleil, du soleil. Nous sommes du soleil. We love when we play. Nous sommes du soleil, du soleil. We love when to play. Yeah, I would definitely get shocked to death if we tried doing that articulate challenge. Open doors, we find our way. We look, we see, we smile. But do we really smile, though? Not all of us are smiling right now, so shut the fuck up about it. Surely day breaks across our path, and stay maybe a while. Let them run, let them chase, let them hide between. Constant doors will open eyes. As life seems like a fight, a fight, a fight. Dude, that is so true right there. That is so fucking true without a doubt. Maybe I'll just sing a while, then I'll give you a call. Maybe I'll just say hello and say, maybe that's all. Hurry home, as love is true, will help us through the night till we're coming home again. Yeah, the first two parts. Yeah, I was gonna say the first three paragraphs right there on verse 2. That's definitely you right there. Maybe I'll just sing a while, then give you a call, and I'll just say hello. That is definitely you right there. Our life seems like a fight, a fight, 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 fight. Anyway. Catch as we look and use the passions that flow. As we try, we continue. We receive all we venture to give. Then we get to an instrumental break. And I'll tell you, dude, I do love the instrumental breaks that are in this song in particular, without a doubt. Alrighty. And then maybe we'll just stand a while. Or, okay, yeah, but I am at the right spot. Maybe we'll just stand a while and surely we can call. Dreams are said to blossom courage, constant to the soul. Change we must as surely time does. Change is called a course, held inside we enter daybreaks. Asking for the source, the source, the source, the source. What the fuck is this so-called source we're asking for?
These nuts.
I don't know either. So, sent as we sing our music's total retain. Oh, you just broke a fourth wall right there, John Anderson. You definitely broke the fourth wall saying, sent as we sing our music's total retain, and we know what your total retain for yes music is. As we try and consider, we receive all we venture to give. All we say is our soul, constant sight listener. We won't tender our song clearer until we sail. Then I will be there. And I will be there. As clearer companions shall call to be near you. They move around telling me that, move around surely sing. As they don't seem to matter at all, 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 at all. Anyway, part 3 is an instrumental, and part 4 is an instrumental too. I think it's part 4 is like, you know, where the drumming was coming in, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking loved that drumming. It sounded like if, let's say, for example, if my folks and I ever went to a Blackfoot tribal powwow, dude. That's how I could actually imagine it. If I was at those powwows and I heard them banging on their drums, dude, it's probably going to take me back to this song without a doubt, you know? Oh, and then there's like the, it sounded like spoons or whatever you could hear along with the drumming.
Spoons?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know what they are. You know, the or whatever. Either anyway, All right, we get to the final part. No, hold me, my love. Hold me today. Call me around. Travel, we say. Wonder, we choose love tune. Lay upon me. Hold me around lasting hours. We love when we play. We hear a sound, and after our returning. Sorry. We drift the shadows and course our way back home. Flying home, going home. Look at me, my love. Senses move dancing away. We join, we receive as our song memories long hope in a way. Nous sommes du Soleil. Hold me around lasting hours. We love when we play. Nous sommes du Soleil. Nous sommes du Soleil. Nous sommes du Soleil. Nous sommes du Lucille. Or Soleil or whatever. Then we hear the guitar solo again.
That translates to "We are from the sun" from French.
Well, I wish you would have told me that. I could have just said that instead. Instead of looking like a really dumb moron that can't interpret these languages. Anyway, the guitar solo, like I was about to say, pretty much was actually a throwback to track 1. You know, when Steve Howe did the guitar solo on the Revealing Science of God, you can hear it at the end of this song here. And then we conclude with what sounds like probably one of the most somber, like, endings of a song ever, or an album in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it, really. So what can I say about this album? Is it their greatest work? Not necessarily. Is it their most ambitious stuff? I think so. It's a good concept that they did here. If they could have did a lot more when it came to the music, this album actually could have came out great. And if they would have had much more time to put a whole lot into it, this album probably could have potentially been a lot better than Close to the Edge.
Yep.
In my honest opinion. But even then, like, the songs themselves, dude, there's only 2 of them I like, and then 2 I'm not really fond of. Or, obviously, The Revealing Science of God is my top favorite song. Then Ritual is my second favorite one. And then The Ancient is number 3, but I probably won't revisit the song. And then, of course, The Remembering, obviously, is the least favorite one. My most hated song on here.
I'm the same way. I like them in the same order as you do.
Yeah. This album here, I would say I would probably give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's because of, like, the fact that I cannot listen to the whole thing in its entirety, or, you know, probably want to skip over certain songs or whatnot. I cannot give this any higher than a 6.
Honestly, I said 7, but I give it more like a 6-7 or a 6-8.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I actually see the picture of the stuff right here, actually. Oh, and of course I didn't even realize this. So we have the stuff here for the songs on the Wikipedia. I'm probably gonna read all of these right here, just so that way we still get all the information crammed in, because I totally spaced on it. I apologize, people. It's been a long ass morning, so it goes a little bit like this for the information. The Revealing Science of God is based on a Shruti, which Yogananda described as scriptures that are directly heard or revealed, in particular the Vedas. Regarding its title, the title track, Anderson said, "It's always delicate to start talking about religious things. It should have just been the revealing, but I got sort of hip." Oh, he got hip with it. The track was... Holy fuck, dude! It says right here that the track was originally supposed to be 28 minutes long.
Damn.
But because of time restraints for the record, they had to cut 6 minutes out of it. I'm wondering what the other fucking 6 minutes were. Fuck, dude. Anderson was inspired to open the track with voices that gradually build from listening to Gregorian chants and used the Vietnam War as a source for its lyrics. Howe plays a Gibson ES345 and oh, that's a beautiful guitar. My dad wanted one of those for his collection. Oh, and you know what? His solos for that were heavily influenced by his belief that Frank Zappa performed lengthy solos because the audience wanted it. I was thinking at one stage, I'll do that, they'll love it.
Yeah.
So he got inspired by your boy for that shit. The Young Christians See It section originated from an unused take from the Fragile Sessions, a take from which was released as a bonus track in 2015 as All Fighters Past. White recalled the group spent around 6 days mixing the track. 6 total days, dude, fuck. The 2003 CD reissue of the album includes a previously unreleased 2-minute introduction. I wonder if they have that on one of the other versions on YouTube Music. I might have to give that a listen. Alrighty. Continuing on quick. The Remembering Hide the Memory relates to the Smriti, text literally meaning that which is remembered. Yogananda wrote the Smritis were written down in a remote past as the world's longest epic poems, specifically the Mahabharata and Ramayana. Anderson described it as a calm sea of music and wanted the band to play like the sea with rhythms, eddies, swells, and undercurrents of sound. The track includes a keyboard solo that Anderson wrote, Bring us alive the ebb and flow the depth of our mind's eye, and rated it as one of Wakeman's best. Squire plays a fretless guild bass and described his performance as one of the nicest things he has done and ranked it higher than his playing on more popular songs. He considered the track was particularly successful in its arrangement, at least for his bass playing. White came up with the chord basis of a section on a guitar, which he does not play confidentially, but Anderson recognized his tune and told him to repeat it until he could grasp his idea. Howe plays a electric sitar, lute, and acoustic guitar. All right. The ancient giants under the sun is attributed to the Puranas, meaning of ancient times, which contain 18 ancient allegories. Steve's guitar, wrote Anderson, is pivotal in sharpening reflection on the beauties and treasures of lost civilizations, which we obviously hear at the end of the song, you know, with the acoustic solos, right? The lyrics contain several translations of the word sun or an explanation of the sun from various languages. Howe felt the opening section amazes him to this day, thinking how the band could go so far out. He plays a steel guitar and a Spanish Ramirez acoustic guitar and described it as quite Stravinsky, quite folky. I think in reference to Igor Stravinsky.
Yeah. That's the only Stravinsky is Igor Stravinsky. Who's one of Frank Zappa's main inspirations, and he's one of my favorite composers.
There you go. There you go, man. To help achieve the right sound he wanted out of his guitars, Howe played several recordings by classical guitarist Julian Bream to offered as a guide. The track ends with an acoustic-based song, which later became known as Leaves of Green. Oh, it kind of makes a little bit of sense there. White used a hollowed-out log and brushes on an aluminum sheet as percussion. A hollowed-out log! He literally just did what Pink Floyd wanted to try and do with their household appliances. Because they were trying to make this album based off of with household stuff, right? And that didn't work out, so...
If I remember right, Tom Waits turned like a dumpster into an instrument once.
Well, I mean, with the dumpster, it's kind of easy, you know. At least somewhat, anyway, you know. And finally, ritual Nous, Sommess do Soleil relates to the tantras, literally meaning rites of or rituals. Anderson described its bass and drum solos as a presentation of the fight and struggle that life presents between sources of evil and pure love, which I will be honest with you is definitely fucking relatable to today's climate. Howe is particularly fond of his guitar solo at the beginning, which to him was spine-chilling and heavenly to play, and uses a Gibson Les Paul Jr. Ooh, my Goldie is a Les Paul. I don't think it's a Les Paul Jr. though, so. He wrote the chords and some lyrics to the Life is Like a Fight section. His outro guitar solo was more improvised and jazz-oriented at first, but the rest of the group felt dissatisfied with the arrangement. Anderson suggested that Howe picked several themes from the album and combined them, which Howe did with a more concise, more thematic approach. During one of Wakeman's absences from the studio, White came up with the piano sequence for the closing Nous, Sommess do Soleil section. The second half contains a percussion jam that features the main melody played on the drums. White, who played a standard kit, taught the sequence to the other members, with Anderson on a cocktail kit and Squire on timpani. Howe, despite participating on the drum solo on stage early on, opted out as it affected his guitar playing afterward. Oh, so, well, it kind of makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it brought, like, I don't know, has Steve Howe played a bunch of other instruments during his run with Yes?
I could not answer that.
I don't know, because I know that Paul McCartney, he's a multi-instrumentalist. In fact, his albums, which are called the McCartney albums, you know, McCartney 2, he did all the instruments by himself. But yeah, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of lessons for you. If you're wanting a quote-unquote musical meditation, spiritual getaway, give this album a listen and let us know in the comments if you like it or not. Just remember, when it comes to the remembering and the ancient for those songs I like, you've been warned. You've been warned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this podcast. I want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. What are your favorite songs or albums by Yes? And are there any other stuff that you think we should talk about here on this channel? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to see more music-related content from us, subscribe to the Roger Radio Show, hit the bell to be notified, and hit that fucking thumbs up button, man. And while you're at it, be sure to also subscribe to the Intermission group as well. And be sure to follow me on all my social media. The links to everything will be in the description below. I encourage you to go do that. Aegis, you have any final thoughts?
No.
That means if we were to make our own Yes cover band, we're just going to call it No. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. If y'all excuse us, we're going to go get drunk right now. So until next time, ta-ta for now!
Peace.